Good morning, guys. Uh, this video is going to be about the Daytona Duels that are taking place later today. So before that, we're going to look at a little bit of the qualifying sessions that took place yesterday, who has locked their way into the race, and who is racing their way in, hoping to race their way in tonight, and who I believe are going to be the contenders to win this duel, and who are going to be the biggest movers from their qualifying spot to uh, where I believe they will finish in the duels, who's going to improve on their starting position the most. Duel number one is going to be led by pole sitter Kyle Busch. He's been racing the 500 since 2005. This is his first pole position. He's going to be looking to become the first pole winner to win the 500 since 1999 when Jeff Gordon did it. I do not expect him to be winner of this duel. I expect him to be playing it safe, bringing the car home in one piece. I expect him to be a contender in the 500, but when it comes to the duel, I think his goal is going to be to keep the damage to a minimum and avoid going to a backup car at all costs. Ditto goes for Ryan Preece, I believe. Preece is on a torrid start to start the year. He is our Clash winner, and he had a P3 qualifying effort. Preece, Buscher, and Keselowski, their goal, I believe, will be to get Corey LaJoie locked into this 500. And Corey LaJoie did a great job of that on his own. He qualified quite well, just wasn't able to beat the 67 of Corey Heim. LaJoie is going to have three teammates working hard to help him beat Chandler Smith and Casey Mears. So I believe all the RFK guys, that's going to be their main priority, is to make sure that there's four of them in this 500. Speaking of Corey Heim by far the number one 2311 driver in qualifying last night. It's amazing how much faster he was than his teammates Bubba Wallace, Riley Herbst, and Tyler Reddick. It makes me think that they had that car set up for qualifying. He's going to be playing with house money on this. I expect to see him running up near the front, seeing if he can steal the duel win. He has nothing to lose. He's locked in. He don't got nothing to worry about. Alex Bowman continuing his strong Daytona 500 qualifying performances. Him and Byron are the two Hendrick guys in that duel. Yeah. I wouldn't be too surprised to see either of them going for the win here. They got nothing to really lose. Chris Buescher, Logano. Buescher's going to be helping LaJoie, I think. Logano's going to be up there competing. John Hunter, Brad Keselowski. Keselowski's going to be helping LaJoie, I think. John Hunter, he has Jimmy Johnson in this field, so he has a teammate to bounce off and work with. I wouldn't be surprised to see them and the 2311 guys kind of joining in as a Toyota contingent to try and take it to the Chevys and the Fords here. Ryan Blaney, William Byron in that next row. That's a murderer's row right there. That's where the dual winner can come from. That's where the 500 winner can come from. Ryan Blaney, William Byron, potentially the two best restricted plate drivers out there right now. Byron, the two-time defending 500 winner, looking to become the first person to win 3 in a row. Ryan Blaney, potentially the best driver currently in the field that does not have one. I wouldn't be surprised to see either of them win the duel. The next row, the exact opposite. Cole Custer in his first restricted plate race with Team Chevy. I don't know how ingrained he's going to be with the Chevy game plan here. Cody Ware is Cody Ware. If he's going to perform anywhere, it's going to be at the restrictor plate races, but I just don't see him getting to that level. Next up, Jimmy Johnson. He's the reason that we have 41 cars in this race. He has the open exemption. He's not the Jimmy Johnson of old, but he did finish third at Daytona last year, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a good run from Jimmy Jam. Next up, Bubba Wallace. This entire outside row, right on down here, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, they're all pretty good restrictor plate racers. They all got a restrictor plate win under their belt. Um, Suarez at Atlanta, Wallace and Chastain at Talladega. I wouldn't be surprised to see those three up here by the end of the race. I think they're all very real contenders for victory. Wallace has Heim in this race. Chastain has SVG. Suarez is going it alone as far as teammates are concerned. Um, but they're all fully capable. AJ Allmendinger, I feel like he might be in the same boat as Custer. You don't know how much support the Chevy guys are giving to Colleague now that they are the factory Ram team in the Truck Series. That being said, AJ is an immaculate restrictor plate racer. Um, Maybe one of the best to not have a restrictor plate win under his belt. He'll bring it home. He is, I think, the Ricky Stenhouse of Duel number one. We know how great Ricky Stenhouse is as a single car operator. And although, Colleague is a two-car team, AJ is going it alone in Duel number one. SVG, I think it's pretty spicy. He's starting alongside Daniel Suarez after their run-ins at the Clash, but he's definitely improved his restrictor plate prowess. He's gone up there and he's led a little bit, but his goal will be to bring the car home in one piece, I think. Chandler Smith, this is his third attempt to qualify for the 500. He's failed both of his previous attempts with two different teams. He's going to run out of opportunities to qualify for this race if this keeps up. FRM should be qualifying better than this. Obviously, Noah's time was disallowed, but Chandler should be doing better than second last out of the allowed times. FRM races really well at restrictor plate tracks, though. So if there's anyone who is going to give Corey LaJoie pause, it's going to be Chandler. He has Noah Gregson there. The one problem that Chandler Smith has is that the guy that he is really racing for that spot is also in a Ford. So there's no real chance the Ford camp giving him any assistance. The RFK boys are going to be helping LaJoie, and I think the Penske guys are going to stay out of it. Casey Mears, he's playing with house money. He got nothing to lose. He's going to go out there. He's going to perform to the best of his abilities. He has a second place at Daytona in the 500, so he is a very capable restrictor plate racer. Granted, that was in 2006, so we're talking 20 years ago now. But I think it'd be pretty cool if Casey raced his way in. He has nothing to lose. I think he knows that. I think the team knows that. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him try some crazy things to try and get up in front of LaJoie and Smith there. And then Noah Gregson, his time was disallowed in qualifying. So his primary goal, I think, is going to be to get Chandler Smith ahead of LaJoie. On to duel number two, Chase Briscoe, second fastest qualifier yesterday, continuing his unreal qualifying performances, where it felt like he was on the front row in half the races last year, led the series in poles, clearly has not slowed down. I expect much like Kyle Busch in duel number one, Briscoe's not going to be doing anything too crazy in duel number two. He's going to want to retain that starting spot. He is going to want to keep the car in one piece. He is also surrounded by a lot of Joe Gibbs Racing teammates in this duel. All four of them are in this duel. All four of them are in the first three rows. Lining up alongside Denny Hamlin. Then we got the second pair of Hendrick guys, Larson and Elliott, in row two. And then the other duo of JGR cars with Gibbs and Bell in row number three. That's 6 race-winning cars in the first 3 rows of duel number two. I think you could see any of them winning. If I had to put money on it, it wouldn't be on Briscoe. I feel like if any of these guys are going to take it safe, it's going to be Chase. He's the one with the locked-in starting spot. The rest of them are going to be fighting to keep keep up there and keep their starting spot somewhat reasonable. Next up here, we got Justin Allgaier. He was the second fastest open car in qualifying, so he joins Corey Hine as guys that have already raced their way in. Better than last year. Last year, Allgaier had swept through the duels. We'll see how Allgaier does this year. I think we could definitely see him battling up front for a dual win. He has shown that he is not afraid of mixing it up, and he has nothing to really lose. He ain't racing for points. He ain't racing to do anything but perform at this point. And next to him is Austin Cindric, former 500 winner. Cindric, Penske guys know how to race at Daytona. Don't know what it is about them, but they are going to be spicy and they are going to be fast. Next row, Zane Smith, Michael McDowell, two really good road restrictor plate racers. Michael McDowell, former 500 winner. Zane Smith has had some great runs too. Michael McDowell has had some really odd luck ever since he won the 500. He's had some fast cars, he sat on some poles, but the cars, for whatever reason, just keep falling apart on him. If those cars stay in one piece, the 71 could absolutely be a dual winner. Next up, Connor Zillett, Eric Jones. Zillett, it's just going to be about getting some time in the next gen at the restrictor plate tracks. He's shown to be a quick study in the O'Reilly series last year. Technically won the Daytona race, although that was mostly Parker Kligerman. But even in the other races that he did perform in, he showed pretty well. He ran up front and he did okay. But this is going to be about getting laps in for him, I think. Bringing the car home in one piece is going to be the biggest goal for him. Eric Jones, on the other hand, he's going to be going for the win. That 43 car is always fast at Daytona. Eric Jones is always fast at Daytona. I expect him to be up there dicing for the win in duel number 2 here. Next row, Josh Berry, Carson Hocevar. I expect both of them to be going up towards the front and going up and battling to try and improve their starting position, especially Carson Hocevar. Carson is going to be one of those guys who's going to be going for the win or dying trying. So here's hoping that he doesn't have to go to a backup car because he's been quite fast at these restrictor plate tracks lately. Next up, Riley Herbst, Todd Gilliland. Riley Herbst needs to have a better showing than he did last year. He's shown to be a pretty solid restrictor plate racer. He has some top 10s, but not saying he needs to perform at the level of Tyler Reddick or Bubba Wallace or even Corey Hine, but he needs to be way closer to them this year than he was last year. He's capable of running up front in restrictor plate races, but he needs to do it. Todd Gilliland, I wouldn't be surprised to watch him and Zane Smith battle and team up to get to the front here. They're both quite solid restrictor plate racers. They haven't had many finishes to show for it, but they're absolutely capable of getting up front. Next up, Anthony Alfredo. That is the open car that I think drew the lucky slot here. I think Chandler Smith wishes he was in Anthony Alfredo's position right now. He is by far the fastest of the open cars in this duel. He has the best team. I think he's currently the best driver, and I think he has the best full package for this duel. BB Motorsports always brings a great restrictor plate car to the track. They have that RCR support. For BJ or JJ to beat him, something's going to happen to that car. And that's not to say that can't happen, but I think the smart money goes on Anthony Alfredo qualifying for the Daytona 500 tonight. Next to him is Ty Dillon. Same problem that I think AJ Allmendinger has. We don't know how much support they're getting from Chevy, how in tune they're going to be in with the Chevy meetings. That being said, Ty Dillon's a very solid restrictor plate racer, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him battling up at the front at some point during this duel. I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see him improve his starting position from where it currently is down there. The next row is the fun row. It's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Tyler Reddick. I wouldn't be surprised to see those guys battling up front by lap 5, to be perfectly honest. Ricky Stenhouse is a former 500 winner, former Talladega winner. Uh, he's, his wins are restrictor plate tracks, and he is very good at them. Tyler Reddick, also a former restrictor plate race winner. They're better than where they qualify, no doubt about it. Single car teams be damned. Ricky Stenhouse finds his way to the front of these races, and I expect both of them to be in contention to be the biggest movers here. And the final row here is BJ McLeod and JJ Haley, two open cars looking to race their way in. BJ McLeod, JJ Haley, they both made starts in the 500 before. But they are very clearly the underdogs in this race. Anthony Alfredo is going to be the favorite to qualify, and they are going to need some good fortune to go their way to change that. So we're going to go over who I think are going to win the duels, who I think are going to lock their way in, and who I think are going to be the biggest movers, improving their starting spots here. So duel number 1, I think Ryan Blaney is the duel winner in duel number 1. He has Joey Logano as his teammate to help him out there, and he's shown to be quite the impressive duel racer. He does really well in the duels for whatever reason, and I think that's going to put him in a good position to win the 500. I'm going to hesitate on calling him my pick for the 500 yet, but he's definitely going to be one of the ones I'm thinking about. Locking his way in, I think it's going to be Corey LaJoie. I think a lot will have to go wrong for Casey Mears to get in for sure. Chandler Smith, I just think the numbers advantage for the RFK boys is going to be too much to overcome. And the biggest mover, I think, is going to be, I think, Daniel Suarez. He showed out really well at the Clash, and we know he's a good restricted plate racer. I think he's going to end up finishing in the top 5 in this duel and contend for the win. Duel number 2, I think the winner of this duel is going to be Austin Cindric. I think we're going to have a Penske walkout on the duel wins this year. Cindric is an immaculate restrictor plate racer, and he has shown amazing speed pretty much every time he's come to Daytona. For locking in, I think it's going to be Anthony Alfredo. I don't think that's a hot take. I definitely think it could be proven wrong if anything goes wrong, but I don't. I think the smart money goes on Anthony there. And as for the biggest movers, logic says Tyler Reddick, I think, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is the fun pick. He's going to make Duel 2 fun to watch, I think. So there you have it. I think that means we're going to have Casey Mears, BJ McLeod, and JJ Haley, and Chandler Smith going home. So yeah, that'll be our 41 car field for the 500. If my predictions come to fruition, which they probably won't if we're honest, but tell me what you think, guys.